From anybody? Yes, sir.
About school education. What about like school learning grants?
Okay, so Rhys, y'all have to do something for me really quickly. Today is Rhys's birthday. And he wanted to be here. So we're very quickly we're not gonna do the whole thing, but we're gonna very quickly go, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Rhys, happy birthday to you. And now to answer your question. So first and foremost, so you're asking about school learning overall?
Like people who don't have access to things like money.
Yeah.
And that's
So Rhys has a perfectly appropriate question. So what do we do about the schools that are under-resourced? How do we guarantee access to an equitable education that is fully funded? Right now in the state of Georgia, we are using an education funding formula that was passed in 1985, when Atari was the height of technology. There have been a couple of iterations, and each time we have looked at that formula, the answer has been we're not going to do anything about it because it might cost too much. The problem is the consequences of inaction cost us more. And so Rhys, here's what I'm going to do, 3 things. 1, we're going to revise the funding formula for the state of Georgia, because we know it is more expensive to educate a child who is poor. It is more expensive to educate a child who is rural. It is more expensive to educate a child who has special needs. It is more expensive to educate a child who speaks English as a second language. We have to be ready to do all of those things, and we can afford to do those things, but we need a governor willing to ask the question. So that's number 1. Number 2, we're going to pay for the teachers we need so that you're not in the classroom with 30 of your closest friends and 15 from the class next door. That's one of the reasons I want to increase teacher pay. Our class sizes are going to continue to go up until we pay teachers to come back into the classroom. Georgia not only is seeing an exodus of teachers, we're also seeing a shrinking of the pipeline. Young people aren't going into education anymore. They don't make enough money and they feel overwhelmed and underused. And so we have to make certain there are exceptional teachers ready to teach the bright mind that Rhys has. That's number 2. Our 3rd responsibility is to make sure that all of those schools have educators who are allowed to actually teach them. The divisive concepts language is not about divisive concepts, it's about lying to our children.
Yep.
I'm the daughter of not 1 but 2 ministers. And my parents taught me a lie of omission and a lie of commission will both send you straight to hell. And yet our teachers are terrified. I met with a teacher today who's afraid of teaching history because it's now time to teach the transatlantic slave trade. She said, how can I teach about the slave trade if I can't talk about enslaved people? If I can't say who owned and believed that these were chattel property, how can I teach our young people if I'm not allowed to tell them anything? That's the challenge that we have. And how can our children learn when they are being banned by their governor from playing with their friends?
Yep.
My mission is to make certain that young people like Rhys have fully funded education that is equitable, that is fair, and that respects who they are and who they intend to be. And I am the only person who intends to be the public education governor of the great state of Georgia.